In the quiet villages of North Karnataka, the local transport system dictated the pace of life. Moving mail or news into these areas was a slow, unreliable process. This isolation made the weekly arrival of the mail a major event. Local families were waiting for one specific publication, the Karmavira magazine. The magazine featured the work of Triveni, a popular Kannada writer. She was known for stories that examined the complex psychological lives of ordinary people. Her serialized novel, Kashi Yatre, followed an elderly woman who longed to make a pilgrimage to Kashi, or Varanasi. In the end, the character gives her savings to an orphan girl for a wedding, choosing the girl's happiness over her own religious goals. The narrator's 60-year-old grandmother, Ava, identified with the protagonist. She developed an intense emotional connection to the story, even though she couldn't read a single word of it herself. Ava relied on her 12-year-old granddaughter for access to the story. Every week, the girl would sit with her and read the latest installment of Karmavira aloud. This arrangement worked until the granddaughter left the village to attend a wedding. Ava was left alone when the next issue of the magazine arrived. When the girl returned, she expected the usual greeting. Instead, she found her grandmother, a woman who rarely showed distress, sitting in tears. Ava told her what had happened. She had opened the magazine, hoping to see how the story continued, but could only rub her hands over the pages. The letters remained silent. Her inability to decode the script was no longer just an inconvenience. It was a barrier to her independence that left her feeling helpless in her own home. Later that night, while they sat together on the open terrace under a summer moon, Ava approached her granddaughter with a request. She asked the 12-year-old to be her teacher. She wanted to start learning the Kannada alphabet the very next day. Ava set a clear deadline for her progress. She aimed to finish her initial studies by the Saraswati Puja day of the Dasara festival. Her goal was specific. By the time the festival arrived, she wanted to pick up a novel and read it from start to finish without any outside help. This was a mission to reclaim her autonomy, structured around the timeline of a sacred holiday. The granddaughter's first response was to laugh. She dismissed the idea as a childish whim. She listed the reasons why Ava was too old to start: her gray hair, her wrinkles, her spectacles, and the constant workload she managed in the kitchen. Ava simply smiled. She told the girl that for a person with determination, there is no age bar for learning. She backed those words with action. Ava spent her evenings reading, repeating, writing, and reciting. Her volume of homework was relentless. Her discipline answered every physical excuse her granddaughter had previously made, turning the grandmother into a model student. The weeks of study led to the Dasara festival, the deadline Ava had set for herself. The granddaughter had prepared a gift for her student, a published, bound copy of the very novel that started this journey, Kashi Yatre. But before the gift was presented, the 62-year-old grandmother bowed down and deeply touched the 12-year-old girl's feet. In a culture where the young traditionally bow to their elders, Ava's gesture reframed the family hierarchy around knowledge rather than age. Ava explained that she wasn't touching the feet of her granddaughter, but the feet of the teacher who had led her to literacy. She noted that the scriptures command respect for a teacher, regardless of gender or age. The girl returned the respect, touched her grandmother's feet, and handed over the book. Ava opened it and immediately read the title and the publisher's name. That 12-year-old teacher grew up to be Sudhamurti, a celebrated author and professor who would eventually teach hundreds of university students. Her grandmother's success showed that education provides a path to autonomy, and that this journey is built on a foundation of mutual respect.